Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, lots of things change. We do a little bit of measurements for doing the weight and balance, but we don't get the weight and balance done yet. So let's see what I've been up to. He says, this is, put it down. Okay, so this is 0.5 millimeter thick aluminium, and I've produced put a lip on the front edge there, and I'm just going through. I'm just going to straighten out those slight wiggles where it's been rolled up, and then I'm going to put the tape on, and we'll start fitting it from the front back. After I've done something similar to that at the rear. Okay, the central strip is in. It's not as nice as I'd like it to be. There's the odd sort of slight wrinkle in it, quilting, but we'll see what happens in service with that. The antenna's on, just need to check the SWR on that and adjust that. I've got a crimp cable to make up to earth the antenna to the cabane struts. That needs to be done. But I've got to say, fiddling in here, putting screws in and getting nuts on the back was not easy. Hey ho. Right. Okay, so I've got chalk marks down here. Halfway between is the datum line for setting up the measurement L, as they call it, which they think will be 36 inches. As I draw that line across to the front of the prop, which they're using as a datum, going via here. So from all this little lot, I'll set it up and I can do measurements. I've got a chalk line right the way across, various points. I've got the centre of the wheel, so I've got the measurement there. I've got the tail wheel, so I've got measurement there. This line here is the datum point for the pilot, and we'll do the calculations by actually weighing it empty and then adding fuel to work out what the moment is for the fuel tanks, because that's the only way I can do that accurately, because the wing tanks are tapered and the main tank is tapered as well at the back end, so I can just run with by adding fuel and seeing what the heck happens there, see what the datums are. Okay, so now I've got all the chalk marks on the ground. I'm just going to measure them and I'm just going to measure them and make notes of the distances I've got off datums. So excuse me while I wait. Okay, so taking the front of the propeller as being the datum, everything's being sorted out. The distance L, which is to the middle of the top leading edge, well, the average between the top leading edge centre and the lower wing, hence I drew 2 marks on the floor. Drop the plumb bob, that's the top wing mark, that's the rear wing mark, halfway between the two, as required by I think. On here it says that should be 36 inches. It's not, it's 40 inches for my aircraft. My prop drive and the thickness of my prop is obviously quite a chunk different. So because my prop is, the front of my prop is 4 inches further forward, all the dimensions here have to be increased by 4 inches. So because the centre of gravity is matched to the wing, not to the propeller, it's matched to the wing, so that's where it's where I'm getting the information from. So although the datum's the front of the prop, that's where it is. So I've got all the moment arms. The difference between that L, as they call it, which is that halfway between the two wings drop down, being 36 inches, and more. The main wheels here are 3 inches behind that. Mine are only 2 inches behind, so my main wheels have been mounted so they're an inch further forward of that datum point. So yeah, everything is slightly different. Let's just think what my total length is from prop. Let me just get that information up, which I took a note of. From prop to tail wheel, here it's got 173 inches and I've got 172, so there's bits of discrepancy, and that's because my tail wheel layup there is shorter. It's mounted slightly further forward than the original setup, I think. So the original setup was just a straightforward metal spring stuck to the very back of the post. So it would be mounted back, or probably thinking about it, probably about 3-4 inches further back. So that makes sense. So my aircraft's slightly shorter coupled. going by all that, that's pretty much where we're at. As I said, I'll weigh with fuel just to confirm moments by looking at what the weights are and knowing what the changes are. I'll do that mathematically. So we're now ready to drain fuel and for the weigh. Okay, so there we go. I've just got a bit of tidying up to do. I'm going to sweep the floor there now. I've got a vacuum in here and mount the seat. Well, welcome to the shed. It's looking a bit different, one might say, with all the bits out. Anyway, why am I in here, not at the aircraft? Quite simple. I have made a little bit of a choice, a bit of a decision with the aeroplane. Having done all the measurements and having felt the aircraft weight at the tail, I knew the aircraft was going to be nose heavy, but it appears to be more nose heavy than I anticipated. I thought I was going to end up adding maybe a kilo of weight at the back end. It looks more like I'm going to add probably 3 or 4 kilos, maybe 4 kilos at the back end. And so I thought, well, I hate adding a lot of weight. Not very keen on it. Not really my scene. So I decided, well, I'm going to have to add the weight no matter what you say. It's going to have to happen. But I can mitigate some of the weight I'm going to add at the back end. And to that end, I am going to strip out the oil cooler. Having spent so much time making up bits and pieces to put the wretched thing in, I'm going to strip it out. Why am I going to strip it out? Why not leave it in? Well, for the amount of weight that's at the front end, I can put that much weight at the back end and have it do the job I need to get the centre of gravity back. It'll also help to move the centre of gravity back. That's another good reason for doing it. And during the ground runs, I've been visiting my video footage where I had a little bit of audio that I could hear, and the oil temperature was only just getting into the green with the flap closed. In other words, so that the airflow was only minimal going over the oil cooler. And with the extra oil capacity that the oil cooler has, it's taking a lot longer for the engine to warm up as well. And I live in the UK. England isn't very hot very often. And on a really hot day, I just throttle back, I suppose, and away we go. So I'm removing the whole oil cooler and duct section from the front end, which means I've got to modify the oil pump, to which I've had to order some bits. Yeah, and then so that's going to delay things a little bit. Then I'll do the weigh, confirm the amount of weight I need to put into the back, having done a ground run first to check how the engine performs with oil pressure and everything else, and so I can do the oil change, get that bit out of the way as well. And hopefully, if all works out well, I'll probably have to take the tailplane off to install some lead onto extended bolts used for mounting the tail wheel bracket. That's my plan of where I'm going to put it. But once I've weighed the aircraft, I know how much weight is needed on the tail. I can then just rig the aircraft up, stick it onto tail wheel onto scales, read what the tail wheel is, and to confirm that I've got the weight right. But at this moment in time, I would have to weigh, to get the centre of gravity in the right place, I'd have to weigh about 30 kilos more than I am and have no fuel in the aircraft. So yeah, it's just too far forward. But they do say an aircraft that with a full CFG flies badly, one with a half CFG flies once. At least everything's in the right direction, but I can move it back. So look after yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.